Let's talk about what to submit when you create a bond request for your loved one and your loved one is detained, and especially regarding a sponsor. And in 2026, judges are usually requiring sponsors to be United States citizens, and so that's something to be very aware of because you have to choose wisely for your loved one's sponsor. And before, it would have been easier if even a green card holder were to be your loved one's sponsor, but if your loved one is detained in immigration proceedings and you're thinking about who should it be, highly consider a U.S. citizen. Now, if you do find a U.S. citizen sponsor, what are some things that the court will look at? And so they'll look at the relationship that your loved one has with the person who is a potential sponsor. So they could be a person who is a good friend or a relative. And so you have to show that in your request that your loved one has that type of relationship with the sponsor. And so one thing to be aware of is, the judge will ask how to prove that relationship. And so how do you do that? Through a person's birth certificate and also the person's proof of being a U.S. citizen. So make sure to include that, be it a naturalization certificate or birth certificate if that person was born in the United States. Then you should also consider what type of financial documents the sponsor should include. And such documents can be the person's taxes, and especially the most recent taxes. That's important. You want to include the most recent tax return, but you can also consider including other tax returns from previous years to show consistent income. And also that sponsor can include his or her bank statements and also any pay stubs, and also importantly a statement of what the sponsor will do to help and make sure that your loved one is going to go to immigration proceedings like a hearing, and that this person will not be a flight risk, because what you're trying to prove is that your loved one will not be a flight risk because your loved one has a sponsor. And that's one of the reasons why we can argue that your loved one is not going to be a flight risk, because of the sponsor. And so if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. We have experience with these kinds of cases, and we hope it goes well for you. Thank you.